Then in 1949, or yeah, 1949-50, we had a real bad winter out there, and we'd gotten, well, it might have been already 48, 49, that we had a lot of snow and couldn't get out anywhere. Roads were all blocked. The highway to the road to Buffalo was blocked. You couldn't get anywhere. And Daryl we had the phone in the kitchen up high, and Grandma was on the phone, and she reached around, went around the corner to talk on the phone to keep it quiet. Well, Daryl took a chair and crawled up and went to shut the phone off for her, you know. And she started coming around, and he jumped off the chair, and he fell on the floor, and he hit his forehead right on the floor, so the bone above his eye split the wide open above, the flesh above his eye all wide open. And yeah, it had been 48, because we had just got the telephones in 1948, and we had gotten the Ford tractor in 48. And we called about the doctor, and I said, well, there's no way we can really get out there, except the 5th Army was out there with their Army Weasels bringing out supplies and stuff to people. So
What's
they got
Weasel?
A Weasel is a tracked vehicle, like the
tank looking thing?
Yeah, a small tank deal, but it wasn't real heavy. It was just light. Held about 4 people or something, you know, and 4 or 5 people, and I suppose it was 5.5 foot wide and 12 foot long or something. And he says, well, I'll have to bring the doctor out with the Weasel. So he come out, and he got as far as Uncle Neil's place, and there was a big drift there, and they went up over the drift a little bit, and sort of started going up. I remember they went over some smaller ones, and then got a bigger one there, and as they're going up, they killed the engine on it, and then they couldn't get it started. So they called out to the farmer, and I took off with the Ford tractor, and I knew all the high spots and ridges that I could go on, so I got over there and give them a pull to get them out of there and get it started. And so then they followed me out to toward the farm to take and bring the doctor there. And I had built a box on the back of the tractor for David and Daryl to ride to school on. It had the 3-point hitch, and so that was on the tractor, and we got a little over three-quarter mile from our house, where the Weasel busted an oil line, so they lost their oil, so they couldn't go any farther. So I took, and the doctor got on the back of the tractor, sat on the box while he went out to the farm, and he stitched up the spot above Daryl's eye, and I took him back to John Niemi's place, and he took his tractor and took him out to Highway 85, probably about 3 miles east of his place. And so the doctor got back in town. We had called, and somebody met him out there, but then they had sent another Weasel out to pick up the guys that had drove the Weasel. I think there were 2 guys with the Weasel, and they come back then in a couple of days and fix the Weasel, and then later on that week we were getting low on fuel oil for our heating stove, so they come with a 50-gallon barrel of fuel oil and a set of tire chains. We bought a set of tire chains for the tractor because it was a lot better to get around in the deep snow with the chains. So they took and come down and brought that to us. I think it was just with the same Weasel that they had come the first time. And Mom mentioned that to my aunt out in New York, and she said that, well, she heard that on the New York radio out there. That it was all over the country how that the doctor had gone out on, on the back of the tractor, the Weasel on the back of the tractor to get out there to